Our schools are under pressure, the likes of which have not been seen for decades. In Oldham, we've taken more than our fair share of cuts, and I wanted to take this opportunity to place on record my thanks to teachers and support staff for the hard work and dedication they do and show every day in very difficult circumstances. But the cracks are clear, and for many teachers and parents and children, they just can't take any more. We have an important opportunity to invest in young people, to progress and achieve their full potential, to be treated as individuals, and for teaching and learning foreground their needs to set them on a path for a positive and a productive life, with an open outlook, confident in their place in the world, and a determination to change the world for the better. These are high stakes, Madam Deputy Speaker. But for too many, that's not the experience of pupils and parents in Oldham West and Royton. Our town has seen cuts since 2015 exceeding £32 million, with an average loss per pupil of £320. This money is directly impacting on the teaching and learning and the SEND and specialist support provision our students desperately need. The result of that cut is clear to see. This now means that Oldham has fewer teachers. According to the government's own school workforce data, we have lost 100 teachers, while the number of pupils since 2010 has increased by a third. So we've lost 100 teachers, but we have an increase in over 8,700 pupils in our schools. The numbers just do not add up, and it's not difficult to see why students are struggling, why parents are frustrated, and why teachers often are leaving the profession because they can't take the weight of that strain. It's not fair on anybody involved in that system. Our schools have not seen the type of golden gift that the government would have us believe they are offering at our schools. And to add insult to injury, Oldham is meant to be one of the opportunity areas that the government say need additional resource and additional focus. So much so, in fact, that the Minister for Children and Families, who's in his place, decided to return to the scene of the crime and visited Yew Tree Primary School in Chadderton only a while ago. With no... I'd be embarrassed if I was in this position. That school has seen a cut of £659 per pupil. But it was a school the Minister thought was fit to go and visit to talk about what a wonderful job the government was doing to support schools. The brass neck on that Minister. But it's not the only one. Oldham Academy North have seen cuts of £672 per pupil. Holy Family Limeside, £517 per pupil. Stanley Road Primary School, £439 per pupil. And while there are many good examples of good teaching and learning, the fact is that there are secondary schools that are failing to meet a basic standard of education for our young people too. And I absolutely support staff and the work that they're doing, but it's also right that I give parents a voice when they don't feel that they have access to a good or outstanding school for their students. So people living in Hollingwood see over 75% of secondary school students in that ward do not have access to a good or outstanding school. 75% of those young people. In Royton South, 30% of young people don't have access to a good or outstanding school, and it's 25% of pupils in Medlock Vale. So we're seeing fewer teachers, more pupils, experienced staff leaving the profession, and I'm afraid the school system completely fragmented through academisation, free schools, UTCs, and all these pet projects that we see. So we're told there's no money, but there was money to find £14 million for the failed UTC. There was money to find £4 million for the failed Collective Spirit free school. Both of which, by the way, have got away without a single examination of what really went on with their finances. So there's money for pet projects, but there isn't money for the basic provision of education in our schools. Enough is enough. We've heard cross-party the frustration, unity from everybody in this chamber that our young people deserve better, our teachers deserve better, and now is the time to really show them by putting the money in place to provide decent education. It doesn't have to be this way. We know at the end of January there was something like a £14 billion tax surplus, up £5.8 billion on the year before. The money is in the coffers. It's a deliberate choice not to use it, and that's a scandal.
Oh, much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Well, in the very limited time that I have, I want to focus my remarks, if I may, on the issue of